Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, October 26. Since last Friday, 2 communities in Kingston and St. James have been placed under special curfew to slow or prevent new exposures and infections of COVID-19. A statement from the Office of the Prime Minister reveals that Raytown in Kingston and Cornwall Courts in St. James have seen an increase in COVID-19 cases sufficient to be of great concern to the health authorities. The concern also stems from the high population density of the 2 areas and the vulnerability of persons within the areas due to severe illness associated with age, comorbidities, and other socioeconomic factors. As a result, both Raytown and Cornwall Courts are now under a daily curfew of 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. the next morning until November 6. During curfew hours, only essential workers with identification will be allowed to enter or exit. Additionally, no more than 6 persons may gather in any public place within the areas, while all other existing restrictions, such as wearing masks and physical distancing, will be strictly enforced. The Heart Foundation of Jamaica, HFJ, has announced a new approach to administering cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, during the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure the safety of all involved. Director of Emergency Cardiac Care at the HFJ, Dr. Hugh Mark Wong, says during this period, individuals trained in CPR should perform chest compressions only CPR.
First thing we must recognize is that the care worker, the person who's providing care, is at risk of getting an infection from the person if it's suspected or confirmed to be. Within community spread, everybody is a suspected person.
Dr. Wong was speaking at a recent JIS think tank to mark CPR Week, which is being observed from October 26 to 31 under the theme Surviving with CPR. He said the changes in guidelines for the layperson to perform chest compressions only was in keeping with the recommendation from the American Heart Association. Government will be providing the necessary assistance to the family of Romeo Leachman and his daughter Sanika, who perished when their house in Shooters Hill, St. Andrew, collapsed due to land slippage associated with the recent heavy rains. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Desmond McKenzie, gave the commitment on Saturday during a visit to the area where the body of 15-year-old Sanika was recovered. He was accompanied by Member of Parliament for East Rural St. Andrew, Juliet Holness, along with officers from the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, ODPEM, the National Works Agency, and the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation. Minister McKenzie hailed the efforts of the Jamaica Fire Brigade and residents in the recovery effort. While he expressed sorrow at the tragedy, the minister also stressed that Jamaicans must give serious consideration to where they build houses. He said an initial assessment of the area, which is plagued by land slippage, showed that many of the houses may have to be relocated. Mrs. Holness also expressed sadness at the death of the father and daughter and said her office would be assisting the family and providing grief counseling where necessary. Meanwhile, Minister McKenzie, who also visited St. Benedict Heights and the Bull Bay area, said $20 million would be allocated to clear roads that had been blocked by flooding and landslides. He said the funds would be part of an emergency response while further assessments are carried out. In addition, the Jamaica Fire Brigade will clear water in communities where it is not receding fast enough, and some residents will be moved to shelters. Also, officers from the Ministry of Labour and Social Security will be distributing care packages, while assessments will be carried out to determine further areas of need. The Ministry of Justice is looking to establish a restorative justice centre in Greenwich Farm, St. Andrew, to serve members of that community and surrounding areas. Portfolio Minister Delroy Chuck says 15 members of the community have signaled their willingness to receive training as justice facilitators.
Indeed, just 2 weeks ago, the community of Greenwich Farm were so impressed by what is happening in Tivoli, in Denham Town, in Tower Hill, in Trench Town, that they came to visit us and say they want a restorative justice center. And we're looking at how we can have one in Greenwich Farm.
The minister was speaking during a recent Access to Justice virtual town hall meeting. The National Museum of Jamaica has received a grant funding of $2.7 million to purchase 2 air conditioning units, a standby generator, and a computer. The grant is a gift from the Gerda Henkel Foundation and the Prince Claus Fund for Culture and Development, established in the Netherlands in 1996. Acting Keeper of Collections at the National Museum of Jamaica, Carrie Ann Watson, told JIS News recently that the equipment would significantly improve the environmental conditions of the museum basement storage area and facilitate greater access to our heritage through digitization. Ms. Watson said the computer was needed to digitize thousands of images and artifacts. And finally, government officials past and present, family and friends of the late former politician Donald Keith D.K. Duncan praised the life and work of the man during his official memorial service on the weekend. The service was held inside the chapel at the University of the West Indies, Mona, with fewer numbers, in keeping with the COVID-19 restrictions. Those who could not attend in person shared their tributes on various social media platforms. Meanwhile, his son Keith Duncan spoke on behalf of his siblings in honor of the man they said was a trailblazer for the family. A dentist by profession, D.K. Duncan gave over 50 years to Jamaica's political movement, serving as Member of Parliament and Government Minister. He passed away on September 17 at age 80, leaving behind his widow and 6 children. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.